All right, we've got two fighters tonight. We got Phil Davis, Lyoto Machida, both former champs. They've got their eye on that #1 contender spot. They want to challenge our new champ, Vadim Nemkov, for that belt. Now, Phil Davis, we talked to him. He says that really he doesn't want to get baited into playing Lyoto Machida's game. Let's talk about Lyoto Machida's game. He is so elusive. It is so hard to get your hands on him. You know this. How does Phil Davis get his hands on Lyoto Machida tonight?
Okay, and I do agree with you. Machida is very tricky. He is very good with the space. He does not get frustrated. He's not going to force anything. You have to be equally as patient. If you go out there and you try to start a fight with Lyoto, and maybe I'm personalizing this, but that was the downfall, at least for me, and I know that Phil knows this. Phil's been in the ring with him one time. Jen, that is relevant. Machida is going to bring something that you cannot get in a sparring room or with any other opponent. He's that unique. So if you can share the cage with him once, you're likely going to learn some things, and I think that Phil is going to do a good job with that space himself. I think he's going to clinch him, and I think he's going to look to score from there.
Phil lost a razor-thin split decision to our current champ, Nemkov. Do you feel like a dominant performance tonight puts him in that contender spot?
I think it's gonna matter. Yes, I am more leaning towards the rumor that this fight is almost for the Corey Anderson sweepstakes. I believe the winner of this is probably going to be first for Corey, just because somebody told me that.
Oh, really?
But
Phil said he has his eyes on a Russian. But,
and I'll tell you what, I think that's a good argument too. I do think that whoever comes out of this will be a very good choice for Nemkov.
So the game plan for Phil Davis is patience. What's the game plan for Lyoto Machida tonight?
Okay, Machida is going to do what he always does, which in the very first few seconds of the fight, he's going to throw 2 kicks. They don't even have to land, but he will throw them with all of his might. One, if they do land, you're going to respect them, but even if they miss, he wants you to know he's got that speed and power. Machida needs to move a lot. He needs to kick a lot. I would also encourage him, when Phil is going to come in and try to close the distance, to use those knees up the middle.
Those very dangerous knees they are. And obviously, we've talked about it. Lyoto Machida is healthy. The first fight between them, he had that bad ankle, so you have to wonder if that's going to be a factor tonight, a healthy Lyoto Machida. That is the question. We will have the answers in just a minute. Back down to Goldie.
All right, Jen, we will break down our main event with our Boost Mobile Vantage Point. Big John, Phil Davis.
I am lucky enough to talk about Phil Davis because this man is special. I want you to watch how long he is, and that is one of the things that makes him dangerous. You think you're out of range, but you're not. He sets up his opponent to move towards his left, throws that hook over, and touches that chin. He is very long and dangerous at distance, so you have to be wary of his length. The other thing that you want to look for is he hides things. Look at him take that left hand, put it out there like it's a jab, because he's hiding this high kick, and he sees that hand. He's already set it up with a body kick just moments before. There comes up the high kick, and he puts his opponent down with it. Then it's his wrestling. He is a supreme wrestler. He's got beautiful open field wrestling, but it's also the little tricks. Look at that nice little use of the trip. Bringing the leg up, brings the opponent down, gets almost to a mount position, and starts hammering his opponent into submission. Phil Davis is a stud.
Well, as you can see here with Machida, now that John's done with the edge of sketch, let me jump in here and show you how it's all done.
Loved mine.
Machida with the kicks on Chael P. Sonnen. Sorry, Chael, I had to do this to you. Nice little delivery, the double kick, but that's what sets up this beautiful flying knee by Machida. Takes that back knee, jump into the air. Chael dips, thinking he can catch the leg. Can't get there. Drops Chael, nice follow-ups. Sorry, Chael, I had to do it, buddy. Now here we're gonna see here, I'm gonna show you details, his 2 feet. Watch, subtle movements is what's gonna make it hard for Phil to get in on the takedown. Watch Machida switch his stance. Boom, right there. Gegard gets a little hesitant. Now Machida will throw that back foot, but it's a fake. It's like a fake kick. So when he throws it up there, he doesn't really intend to land, but he brings it back down, back into the southpaw stance. From that position, what it's done is cause hesitation. Machida's so good at, watch Gegard take a step back. He's second guessing everything he's doing now. Now Machida gives chance for him to get his back off the fence and reestablish where he wants to go with the fight. Phil Davis is gonna have a hard time with that tonight.
Check out Bellator.com for a brand new episode of Bellator MMA presents The Dose, brought to you by Boost Mobile's all-new Shrink It plan, a brand new way to mobile. Mike Goldberg, Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy set for our main event of the evening. Jen and Chael talked about it, Josh, a potential rematch with Vadim Nemkov. Phil Davis and Vadim Nemkov had a very close fight.
It was a very close fight, but Phil started coming on in the third round, and that's what really kind of concerns me. not concerns me, actually excites me about that fight, because the next fight, if he does fight Nemkov, will be for the title in a 5-round fight. That makes it very interesting to me, John.
And John, when you look at Lyoto Machida, he has achieved just about everything, but he wouldn't mind adding a little Bellator gold to that trophy case.
Well, Lyoto Machida is what we call just a pure martial artist. He's been just incredible everywhere he's been. He is so special in the way he goes about fighting. And you take a look, and at the age that he is, 42 years of age, he could still be that guy that wins that belt.
He is the best around. Nobody's ever going to take him down. See what I did there? I know you did. I know you got it. Tonight's Locker Room Camp is brought to you by Burger King. In 27 professional fights, Phil Davis has never been stopped. The crane kick versus Randy, the front kick versus Vitor, the real-life Karate Kid, Lyoto Machida, has delivered some of the greatest knockouts in MMA history. The rematch, our main event here on Paramount Network, is coming up next. Bellator MMA is brought to you by Geico. You could save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. And by Boost Mobile's all-new Shrink It plan, a brand new way to mobile. Lyoto!
He is a true martial artist in every form.
Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis. Lights out with an exclamation point. And it's all over. Phil Davis.
Years later, they are set to meet again in our main event of the evening. Phil Davis and Lyoto, the Dragon Machida.
Set to now make his way to the cage, Lyoto, the Dragon Machida.
The first fight back in 2013. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. 7 years, 1 month, 9 days ago. Unanimous decision victory for Phil Davis. Lyoto Machida now wants to win on Phil's home turf, as he is set for our main event and the rematch with Mr. Wonderful. Our keys to victory are brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. John, on Lyoto.
On Lyoto, look, use your footwork, be elusive, and look for the openings over the top of Davis's left hand. He drops his left hand, and you have an opportunity to land a big shot.
Second straight rematch for Machida, coming off his fight against Gegard Mousasi. Not only one of the greatest fighters, one of the greatest people in our sport for a very, very long time. There's his brother Chinzo, Lyoto, the Dragon Machida. We're going to do a stand out in the middle before the fight.
And now making his way, Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis.
Equally as wonderful in and out of the cage, the former Bellator light heavyweight champion, the light heavyweight Grand Prix champion who will turn 36 years old on the 25th. Phil Davis won his title right here inside the Mohegan Sun Arena. Josh, his keys to victory brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone.
What he needs to do is keep his composure. If Machida moves a lot, it's going to frustrate him. He needs to stay composed and he needs to chain wrestle. Machida's been one of the best in stopping the first and sometimes the second takedown. He needs to put his wrestling together and chain wrestle. I think if he does that, he'll have success tonight against Machida.
Phil Davis has never been stopped in his professional career. A record of 21-5 and 1 no contest. Mr. Wonderful looking for his third straight Bellator victory. Our tail of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. John, a combined 47 professional wins.
You can take a look at those records, and that's exactly what it's doing, Mike. It is telling you both of these guys now have a lot of experience in the cage. This is going to be a fantastic fight.
I am pumped. Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator MMA live on Paramount Network from Mohegan Sun Arena. The time has come for tonight's main event. 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation Chairman James Gessner, President of Sports and Entertainment Mr. Tom Cantone, supervising at cage side tonight Brendan Kaliwa, and Director Mike Mazzulli. And now, introducing the blue corner first. At 6'1", weighing in 205.3 pounds, the former light heavyweight world champion brings a veteran professional record with 26 wins, 9 losses. By way of Belém para Brazil, he fights out of Machida, California, Lyoto, the Dragon, Machida. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'2", weighing in 205.7 pounds, the former Bellator light heavyweight world champion enters with 21 professional victories, 5 defeats. From Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, he fights out of San Diego, California, Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis. In charge, your referee, Dan.
All right, gentlemen, we've been through the rules in the locker room. Want you to obey my commands at all times. Want you to protect yourselves at all times. You ready to touch gloves? You want to do it again? Go ahead. Back to your corners.
Phil Davis. Lyoto Machida. Fight again. Our main event here on Paramount Network. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
All right, so you ready? You ready? Round 1, let's go, gentlemen.
Here we go! Tonight's fight clock brought to you by Geico. Mr. Wonderful in the red gloves, the Dragon, the Southpaw in the blue gloves. He will switch his stance up any moment.
You could have just said the guy in the pink shorts was Mr. Wonderful.
I have said that before, I believe.
Well, you know what? Why don't you put out the reason that he wears the pink shorts? He's had several women in his family that have had breast cancer, and he does that just as an homage and honor to them. I love it.
28th professional fight for Davis, 36th for Machida.
You saw that little thigh kick by Machida. That will help stop the double leg, the shots, the takedowns for him to close the distance and get it on the takedowns.
Watch for that little hip feint that Lyoto loves to use. Phil even talked about it when we visited with him earlier this week. Phil's got heavy kicks as well.
Give me those feints, Phil. Feints are working. Stay on them. Lock the shoulders. Know where you need to be, Phil. Lock the shoulders. Stand like you have.
Something about Phil this whole camp. I've been following him on social media. I've been talking to him outside of this, but he seems a lot different mentally for this fight, and he also seems a lot leaner, a little bit more physically like in shape for this fight. I don't know what it is, but he looked really good in weigh-ins yesterday, and he looks a little bit leaner than he normally does.
And look at his right hand, John, pinned right up to the chin.
His right hand is, but look at that left hand.
Yeah.
But it is what does make Phil. He throws that left hand, he throws it from funky angles, brings the hook over, and it's hard to see, so I understand why he does it, but he's always going to be big, and he's very cautious regardless of the fact that Lyoto has that front kick, and that is why you see that right hand staying up near his chin.
We had to create a whole nother Etch-a-Sketch on the telestrator just for John to show how Phil throws that left hook.
Do you know how expensive our Etch-a-Sketch is?
Yes, yeah, I know, it's top of the line, I get it.
You keep on using just those stupid things. Just keep on going. There's so many other ways.
Thank you. Oh, my. The kick by Phil Davis.
That was a nice kick by Phil.
And you're talking about a Phil Davis, Josh, who's always in good condition. So you take it to great or ultra magnificent here tonight. But you always have to watch out for that kick right up the middle from the Karate Kid, the Dragon, Lyoto Machida.
What I like about Phil Davis, I've trained with him several times. He just has his hip pressure, his wrestling pressure, his top pressure. Anytime he's on top, if he's able to get this takedown on Machida, it's going to be a long, however long the round is left for Machida to try to get up off the bottom.
The four-time All-American wrestler in Penn State Nittany Lion history.
I like what Phil's doing, though. He's giving him a little feint, and when he's giving him the feint, it's going to possibly make Machida react, which that'll make it easier for him to close the distance and get inside for the takedown.
Well, one of the things that makes Phil unusual is a guy that comes with that wrestling background, but he uses his hands to set up his wrestling instead of using his wrestling to set up his hands. I know that sounds weird, but it's the truth in the way he approaches his stand-up game.
I'd like to see him use a little bit more of that push kick because he's landed it twice already, and I've already seen it's got Machida to back away a little bit.
And the one thing you need to control when you fight Lyoto Machida is distance, because he moves in and out as well as anybody in the history of this sport.
Well, one of the things that you can see right now is if you think about what started off in the beginning of the round, Machida tried to control the center of the cage and was pressing Davis's back towards the cage. Now Phil has changed that around, and he's the one that's pushing Machida back.
Well, we talked about the Gegard-Musasi fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gegard was able to push Machida around, keeping him guessing on what he was doing and pushing Machida's back to the fence, and that was the difference, I think, in the fight.
And Lyoto talked about that, you know, the control during the fight. Gegard did an excellent job of it.
Down the middle, Phil. Right there.
The front teeth kick right down the middle by Phil. It's giving Machida some problems.
You got 30.
Final 30 seconds of round one.
Feel it out. Feel out that right hand entry.
The other thing is, well, most of you guys watching at home, this is what you see with Machida fighters that have a hard time figuring out the first round and things pick up moving into the second.
Hard to find a guy to train with that is Lyoto Machida-like.
Great, good job, gentlemen.
Our main event tonight here inside the Mohegan Sun Arena. Who will inform you when you've been misinformed? The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. Weeknights at 11, 10 Central on Comedy Central. Round two. All right, Big John, round one.
I have round one going to Phil Davis. He landed the harder shots. He had the teeth kicks going down the middle. He landed more. It's a close round, but I think he gets it.
If it goes to the second round, you better come.
Up the middle right there. That's when you go up the middle.
Well, it's in the second round, but I know what you did. I see what you did there.
Switch back.
Little switch of the stance by Phil Davis momentarily. Phil not really looking to turn this into a grappling match, at least at this point.
I think he's looking for it. He's just having a hard time figuring it out. And that's what he's afraid of right there. Was that head kick or that left knee coming right up the middle?
Exactly. That left knee is what he's looking at the whole time.
But that push kick by Phil Davis is also making it easier for him to maintain the distance and range he's looking for, and he just did it again.
Beautiful kick to the body by Phil Davis.
Back on the jab right away. Back on the jab.
Could Corey Anderson be next for the winner? He said, I like what Chael Sonnen had to say. Me versus the winner of the main event. What do you guys think? Oh, we think that would be a pretty darn good fight. Excited to see Corey Anderson make his Bellator debut. We just saw Kat Zingano make hers. Liz Carmouche will enter the Bellator cage for the first time tomorrow.
I gotta tell you, what Phil's doing with that push kick and that toe kick, usually it's Machida doing this to other people. and Phil's doing it to him. I don't know if Machida knows what to do right now.
No, that kick, he keeps on responding with that leg kick off of it. But when you're looking at those two kicks, you look at the teep kick down the middle into that solar plex area, or you look at that kick by Machida to the thigh. The one to the solar plex is going to get more attention to the judges than that leg kick.
Well, we know a couple of things. First of all, Phil doesn't want to get kicked in the face. That's obvious.
Rule number one,
yeah, but,
don't get kicked in the face.
But you know what I'm saying when we're talking about Lyoto Machida. And if you shoot without setting it up, you could end up running right into that wood chipper, a la our heavyweight champion Ryan Bader years ago when he fought the Dragon.
You could set it up and still run into that wood chipper.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, John.
Don't stick that out.
His older brother Chinzo, his head trainer now. Chinzo, of course, fought multiple times inside the Bellator cage.
I like Phil went to stick his left arm around his corner, told him, don't stick that out, and right away he pulled it back.
There is Chinzo on the left.
Bring your feet forward a little bit. Move your feet with it, Phil.
Chinzo, 14 months older, 5 career wins, 4 by knockout, 3 in the first round in his Bellator career. Oh, nice right hand.
No chase, right
Nice recovery by Machida.
Seemed like Machida hurt his foot or his ankle in that exchange.
I think he just didn't bring the kick back fast enough, and Phil landed the punch, and it kind of rolled him over on his ankle a tiny bit. But I also did see in the first round, Machida threw a kick, and I think Phil blocked it with his elbow. So maybe he's having an issue with it as well there.
Good. Yeah, there. Mike, you see it. Let the right go. Minute 30. Minute 30.
That teep kick has been the difference in this fight, Josh. He keeps throwing that kick to the solar plexus, and Machida has not figured out a way to stop it.
I got it. Like I said, I've trained with Phil. His leg strength, his hip power is so strong. When you think that you can do something, you can't move him. And even though you have certain fighters like Benson Henderson, they've got like those real.
Yeah, they look like Walter Payton.
Yes, like Flintstone. I hate to say this, but they're like Flintstone feet. But when they land, like they're kind of built very similar. Big thighs, flat. The feet they're real big, and it just hurts when they land.
It's like you beat Fridge, I'll beat Phil Davis.
You with that.
45 seconds on the clock, round 2.
Take the leg.
John, I gotta tell you though, as much as it pains me to say this, you are a little bit correct. Okay? I can see the difference in the speed.
Josh lives in pain.
Yes.
Nice body kick.
I can see a little bit of the difference in the speed factor, and Phil has figured it out. He realizes that, hey, I'm not, ooh, that was nice though, but he's not as fast as he used to be in their first fight.
Go with the fence. Phil closing in.
Go with the fence. Don't grab the fence again, Lou.
Something big.
We're headed to the 3rd and final round.
Right, no strikes.
So take a look. Here is that situation. The kick comes up. You see, he just loses balance off of that pressure. He really didn't roll his ankle or anything. And this is the end of the round. Again, Phil comes in, gets the single leg. Machida tries to run out of it. Phil grabs him by the body. That little bit of the grab by the fence. If Phil was trying to take him down at that moment, you can see Dan Lyoto, he's going to warn him or even could take a point for him actually keeping the takedown from happening. But that's not what occurred.
I felt like he was trying to take him down, but he was trying to sag him versus lift and take him.
Yes.
Their first fight went the distance. Once again, our unofficial scorecard, Josh.
Let it go.
Oh, yeah, I have Phil Davis up by 2. Thanks for bringing me in, buddy. Thank you.
You're good. You got a boxer in there. You're seeing everything, Phil. Stay on the face, stay on the shoulder.
You stop coming to me so much, I kind of just tune you out in the beginning of each round.
That's all right. John and I tune you out way early.
I know. And I'm okay with this. I get it. I understand.
The corner, Phil Davis, said you're beating him when you're letting go.
Yeah, and really, they're right. One of the things I really like is when Phil just throws straight punches down the middle. They get there fast, and like we talked about earlier, and Josh brought up, there is a significant difference in the speed that you can see now between the two fighters. And that, you know, a lot of that is just age. You start to slow down as you get older, and it just happens. You can do all kinds of things to try to maintain it, but you never get it to where you get faster at that age.
But I also feel like a little bit of the output has slowed down as well.
Yeah.
Like, even though he was faster, people would try to force the situation, and he was fast enough to counter it and move and strike while moving.
That's what I'm talking about. Keep coming forward with that.
Mike Goldberg, Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy, Jen Brown, Chael Son in our main event in the third and final round. Right here live on Paramount Network, Mohegan Sun Arena, the rematch between Phil Davis and Lyoto Machida. Both Josh and John on their unofficial scorecards have Phil up 10-9, 10-9. He won the first fight in Rio de Janeiro back in August of 2013 by unanimous decision.
Let it go.
A lot of people thought that Machida, you know, won that fight. Phil Davis won it on the scorecards that night with the judges, but if you go into the media, everybody in the media thought that Lyoto won that fight. So it was a very close fight. And what we have here today, you're taking a look at these rounds are close. I have Phil Davis winning them, but he's not walking away with the round. It is a very close round.
Midway point of the third and final round.
I gotta say, I'm kind of glad that the media's not the judges. As a former fighter.
Red gloves for the former Bellator light heavyweight champion. The Dragon in the blue gloves.
Phil's gotten away from that tip kick, and that's what's kind of, that push kick is kind of letting Machida go ahead and walk in a little bit and be a little bit more active.
Under two now. Just waiting for Lyoto to throw it. Will it land? We don't know.
Seeing it all, Phil. Don't worry about it. Just let it go. Right hand.
Right now, I see what Phil's doing. In my opinion, he's almost slowing himself down just with he's waiting. Don't wait. Go back to what you're doing. Like Josh said, throw that front teep kick down the middle. Throw that straight left and that straight right hand down the middle. Those have been effective for you.
I like what Phil just did there as well. Machida kicked, landed, and he countered right back. And like we talked about earlier, that's the last thing the judges see.
They've gone back and forth like that throughout the fight, Josh, with those low kicks.
Yeah, but Phil's been having the more effective damage, I think, because his kicks are a little heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference in the kicks. When you're looking at a lot of Machida's kicks, a lot of them when he throws, it's slapping kicks. It's a little bit of a slap to it, where a lot of what Phil throws, it's a heavy kick. Not that Lyoto doesn't do that at times, but a lot of them are what we call a slap kick.
Lyoto went low to try to set up the hands a moment ago. 40 seconds on the clock here, our main event of the evening, the rematch between the two former light heavyweight champions. Tomorrow night, the bantamweight title on the line, right here on Paramount Network.
Machida having a lot more success in this round because Phil got away from that tip kick, which is giving Machida the range that he needs. But I also like, if Phil uses the jab, that can be just as effective as that push kick.
There's that low kick again. So with the rounds being so close and this being a good round for Machida, it's all up to the judges as they go the distance once again. You guys leaning leaning towards Lyoto in the third. So did Phil get 1 and 2? I guess doesn't matter really at the end of the day what the three of us think. Not at all. Matters what those other three dudes think. Sonnen retired after his fight with Lyoto, and Lyoto had a lot of kind words for the American gangster. Judges rendering their decision. Is it Phil Davis again? Or has Lyoto Machida evened the score? Take a look at some of the final numbers. Look at the strikes landed. 27, 29 plus 2 for the Dragon. Kicks the same. Well, I'll tell you what, like you said, Josh, it is no fun to be a judge right now.
What surprised me was no takedown attempts.
Yes, absolutely. Not even a feint. There was the one little bit of a exchange at the end of the round, but that was almost like a slip. Michael C. Williams will tell us who has won our main event of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your three judges. Your first, Doug Crosby, scores it 29-28. He scores the fight for Machida. Your second judge, Dave Torelli, scores the fight 29-28. He sees the fight for Davis. Your third and final judge, Brian Miner, scores the fight 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis.
Phil Davis by split decision, 2-0 against Lyoto Machida. Mr. Wonderful with Big John.
Well, Phil, you get to talk to me now. Congratulations on getting a second victory against an incredible mixed martial artist in Lyoto Machida. You were using that front teep kick to the solar plex area. It seemed like a difference maker, but you went away from it in the third round. Why did you go away from it?
Be completely honest, you know, I really learned that technique the first time I prepared to fight him, because he was coming off that great knockout against Randy Couture, and I was like, man, I got to prepare for that. And you know, I really don't give guys credit for helping me develop and helping me change. So that's where I really began to even play around with that move. But I got away from it in the third because he was checking it and returning fire to my right leg. So I just want to minimize.
You are coming off a win here. You were the ex-light heavyweight champion here in Bellator. Nemkov just beat Bader. Do you think that this should set you up for a rematch with Vadim Nemkov?
Listen, that fight, whew, you thought this fight was close. That fight was razor thin. I mean, man, I completely forgot about the third period until watching the promo as I was walking out. I was like, oh man, I forgot I had him in a deep Kimura. I forgot I was on top of him in the end of that third round. Like, he's an amazing fighter, and I'm so proud of him for beating the champion and all of that good stuff. But, you know, live it up, my friend.
So that's
live it up, and I'm coming.
Sounds good to me. Congratulations on a fantastic performance. Big win. Back to you, Goldie.
If they meet again, Big John, it would be a 5-round fight. Phil in the first matchup said, I had a slow start. I got aggressive, but I didn't do it soon enough. Will he get a chance again for Bellator Gold? Speaking of Bellator Gold, tomorrow night 2 of our back-to-backs, and we showcase the battle between Juan Archuleta and Patchy Mix for the Bellator Bantamweight World Championship Plus. Liz Carmouche makes her Bellator debut live and free, 10/9 Central, right here on Paramount Network. Great to be here on a day that we will always remember, a day